I have spotted a pattern that a lot of people get stuck on when they're trying to achieve something that requires a skill that they have not mastered yet, and they are unsure about how to proceed. But there's a very simple solution that's almost magical that I've seen work over and over and over again. So to explain this, we have Mr. Enlightened Lizard here. And let's say you're trying to get into e-commerce, right? And you'll have to set up your store and run Facebook ads, or this can be anything. Maybe you're a copywriter, and for the first time, you have to write your first VSL, and you've never done this before. Or like me, you're starting a YouTube channel, but you don't know how to do videos or what the best format for your videos might be. And even more things. Honestly, this applies to literally everything in life. Say you're trying to talk to a girl, but you don't know exactly what to say or how to say it. Or maybe you're trying to get in shape, but same thing. You don't know how to go about the whole thing. Like whatever that might be, okay, any skill that you're trying to learn, whatever it is. This thing that I'm about to explain to you applies to literally everything that you could possibly want in life. So usually when you want something, let's say you're here at point A, okay, and you're very happy because you want to go to point B because this is your dream. This is the thing that you want to achieve. And what you have to do is to embark on a journey that requires you to take a series of steps that when completed, you will be able to attain this thing that you desire. The thing is that when you embark on that journey, usually two things can happen. Number one is that you don't know exactly what are the steps that are required for you to take. So for example, with e-commerce, as we were saying before, yes, maybe you know that you could launch your e-commerce store and make 10K a month, and maybe you understand that you're gonna have to use Shopify and run some ads on Facebook, but that's all you know. You don't even know what are the other things that are required. You don't even know that you actually have to negotiate with suppliers. You might have to set up email marketing campaigns. You'll have to build a support team for your customers and many other things. There's so much stuff that is required for you to do in order to get to this goal right here, but you don't even know that. And then we have thing number two that can happen, that you do know what are the things that you have to do, such as negotiating with suppliers, the email marketing support team. You know that you have to do all of that stuff, but you don't know the how to do it. And you can extrapolate these two things to all of the examples that I was telling you before, right? So getting in shape, you don't know what are the exercises that you have to do. Or maybe talking to girls, you don't know how to actually, you know that you have to talk to a girl, but how do you actually do it? So all of these things. Now, the reality is that usually this is going to be a mix of both. Okay, there will be things when you start that you didn't even know at the beginning that you had to do. And then there will be other things that you knew you had to do, but you will not know how, right? So both will happen. Now, this is where the magic solution comes into play. This is what I want to explain to you in this video. So let's say that we embark on this journey for whatever it is that you want to achieve. We have point A, point B, this is what we want, and this is the path to follow, right? Let's use different colors. So color green are the steps that we know that we have to take, and we know how to take them. Then there's other things that we didn't even know we had to do. This will be the yellow. And then we'll have in black the steps that we know we have to take, but we don't know how. The way this works and the way you have to operate, and the phenomenon that happens to a lot of people, is that they get stuck right at the beginning or within the first few steps because they're not able to visualize or understand how they will do the rest. And the magic secret, that's super simple, that once I say, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, of course. It is as simple as just taking the next step, regardless of how impossible or unlikely or mysterious the next step might seem. If you're getting into e-com and all you know is that you have to open a Shopify store and you know that first step, but then you don't know what is the best theme to use, how you should create a product page, you didn't even know you had to create a website, a support page, all of that stuff, it absolutely does not matter, because the magic thing that happens is that even if you don't know the next step, once you take that one, for some reason, you'll be able to see what is step number 2 and step number 3 and step number 4. But if from step number 1, you're trying to figure out 3 and 4, very often you will not be able to see the solution and you'll get stuck right here in the middle and you'll make absolutely zero progress. And the big secret that's very simple is just take the next step. And once you're here, you'll see number 3 and number 4. I know it sounds super stupid and too simplistic of a way to analyze things, but I've seen this over and over and over again in my life and in other people. So for example, recently, for the first time, I've started a project with a friend of mine who's never done anything. He has never had his own business, he's never created any project, and he's an amazing programmer, right? We're developing an app. And while we were going through the development process, very often he would be like, man, I have to do this thing, but once I do this, I have no clue how I'm gonna do this. I think this is impossible. We're gonna have trouble with this. I think we're gonna get stuck here. These, I have absolutely no clue how we're gonna do it. And he would get stuck for days. And what I told him is completely forget about it. Just trust me, do this thing that you know how to do right now. Just take the next step and trust me, somehow, magically, you'll be able to figure out what is the next step that you have to take. And this has happened so many times throughout this project, this app that we're developing, that now he understands this. Like, you literally do not need to know how to do things or what you even need to do. You just take the next step and things just magically happen. The philosophy usually in rock climbing is kind of similar. You know, you have a massive mountain here that you have to climb. And one thing that sometimes people recommend is that you just focus on your 6-foot world right here. Yes, it is useful to keep perspective and see where you're going. Okay, this is the top of the hill and this is where I want to go to. But just focus right here, because very often what happens when you're rock climbing is that you cannot see the next solution until you take the next step right in front of you, because then you will be more elevated, you'll have a better perspective on the whole thing, and you'll be able to spot new opportunities on how you can move to the next area. And you have to apply this philosophy to literally everything you do in life: getting in shape, getting girls, starting new projects, businesses, absolutely everything. Always trying to have like this broad perspective on things you're trying to accomplish can be harmful. Now, will you make mistakes throughout this process? And if you do things this way, for sure, but in a way it actually does not matter that much. And for you to understand that, I would recommend you to go watch this video that you'll see on screen right now, because I talk about this whole process a little bit more in depth, and it's like the advanced version of this. So go check out that video right now. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and it's your first time here. But for now, that's it, and hopefully I will see you on the next video. Take care. Peace.